there is no doubt in my mind we are in a trust recession. And what that means is we're going to need to do things differently as we move into 2026 to make sure that you can still build enough trust with your audience so that they invest in your offers. And this is going to affect all kinds of offers, not just high ticket, close proximity containers. This is going to affect low ticket, mid ticket, and high close proximity and your online courses, your memberships, pretty much everything that we sell. Okay. Now, where did this trust recession come from? Well, it came as a result of a lot of people in the online space making hay while the sun shone. Now, you will know what I mean when I talk about fake urgency, fake scarcity, bro style sales tactics, coaches in particular who show up and promise the world. I think the phrase is moon on a stick, which always makes me giggle. Yeah, they promise the world and then underdeliver. Okay. So we're coming out of a time when there's been a lot of that, right? There's been a lot of people who have overpromised and underdelivered, who've shown up with great marketing, with strong branding, really oozing authority. And yet, when you jump into those programs, you're left feeling underwhelmed. Okay. Now, all is not lost because there are 7 things. I'm going to give you 7 things in this episode that we can do to reverse this trust recession in your business, making sure that your communities, your Instagram followers, your Facebook group, your TikTok audience, whatever it is, wherever you hang out, we're going to help you in this episode to accelerate trust. Okay. So these are the 7 things that I will be doing more of in 2026. And I 100% recommend that you do too. Okay. And this trust recession, it won't last forever as long as those of us that are really in it for the good of your customers lead the way, right? As long as we lead the way with integrity and authenticity, as long as we lead the way. And do you know what? I even hate using those words because I just think that they sound very cliche. It's very easy for somebody to go, hey, I'm authentic, come and work with me. It doesn't necessarily mean that you trust them. Yeah. As long as you lead from a solid place, as long as you lead from true value, from true connection, from true leadership, as long as you lead with a whole heart. Yeah. In fact, one of my clients said to me the other day, she said, Rachel, I've worked with loads of coaches in the past, but I just know that you care about me. I feel it in everything that you say, in everything that you do, in the way that, you show up, the way that you answer my questions. I know that you actually care, like really care. And that, honestly, that brings tears to my eyes because that really does matter to me. And yes, in that moment, it made me feel good. And when I think back now, I felt quite flattered, but I'd have been mortified if it was any other way, because I do lead with my whole heart. And I do think that you should too. And when you do, your audience feel it. They feel it. They know the difference between bro style tactics and real leadership. Yeah, real energy of care, of connection, of relationship. Okay, so without further ado, let me walk through these 7 things. And as usual, my inbox is open for you, right? If you want to come and message me over on Instagram about any of these things, if you're experiencing these things and you just want to talk it through, like, I'd love to hear from you. Absolutely love to hear from you. So, number 1 is more credibility and authority. Okay. So, whatever level of credibility and authority you're sharing now, turn up the dial. Okay. Now, what that means is you sharing your personal story, sharing where your expertise came from, talking proudly about any awards or accomplishments or certifications that you've got. Don't assume that because you've been doing this for a few years that everybody knows who you are and where you came from. They don't, right? New followers are coming into your world all the time. Things are changing all the time. There's other people that are maybe selling in your space too. You have to stand out. So turn up the dial on your credibility and your authority. More personal stories, more reasons for people to go, oh, wow, like you've got a great background. For me, I know every time I talk about my corporate background when I talk about my team looked after 13,500 customers, that we operated at such pace and at such scale that now running a business, where it's just me and my team, like sort of 7 of us, that's nothing compared to the fact that I used to manage 57 people who were all over the UK. And that was my day job, like I did that 80 hours a week, a lot of hours a week, maybe sometimes even more hours than that. And so when I talk about that now, my credibility and my authority to speak as a sales leader really shines through. So are you maybe sitting on some stories that maybe you're being too humble, maybe you don't want to share because it sounds braggy or boastful, maybe you don't want to show up and say, hey, did you know I'm an absolute bloody expert at this? I am genius at this one thing. You need to come and learn this from me. Yeah, if you're being too humble, you'll get left behind in 2026. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, more social proof, more client results. There is never enough social proof, yeah? Whether that is on your sales pages, in your stories, in your carousels, maybe even little pictures that flip up in your reels, like social proof everywhere. And not just screenshots either, actual stories. I think you've heard me say before, like when you're sharing a client win, like a case study style story, you want to follow the 3-step rule, right? I call it the CAR framework: context, action, result. So if you want to talk about, here's how my client just made 23K from 2 emails. Yeah, my client just did that. It's amazing. You want to be given the context of where they were before they came to work with you, what the action was that you took, and then the result that they are now celebrating. Okay. So that's how to do client case studies and give more social proof. Item number 3 on my list, some of you are going to hate this, is more face to camera video. More live video. There is never enough live video. Now, you could have probably guessed that this would have been on my list because you see me go live on Instagram a lot. Maybe you don't actually. Maybe you're not even following me on Instagram. Tut tut. Come follow me on Instagram. Yeah, but I go live a lot. I speak in my stories. And I do it because I enjoy it, but also because I know that my energy conveys through the camera. Okay. So whether or not you are doing live video now, I want you in 2026 to start. I know it's scary, and I know that you think, oh, what if I fluff my words? What if, I get halfway through my live stream and I don't know what to say? What if, I'm trying to record some face to camera reels and my energy doesn't come through? Trust me, the more you do it, the better you get. Okay. So item number 3 on our list is more face to camera. Think about who you trust, right? Who do you trust? Who do you watch? Whose videos you really enjoy? Whose content you digest because you know that it's going to help you? You trust what they're telling you. I guarantee you'll be watching the people who you've seen on camera. Okay. And your audience is the same. They want to see you. They want to feel your energy. So more face to camera, more live videos, more live reels, all the lives, please. Number 4 on my list is more community building. Now, I think sometimes when I say community building, people just think that I'm telling you to go build a free Facebook group. That is not what I'm telling you. Although, if you want to go run a free Facebook group, it is a great way to build a community. But more community building, as in, you might want to invite your audience onto a live workshop with you. I just ran one, a private workshop to my email list only. I didn't invite anybody from outside of my email list, only my email list. And we had a great time. Like we had a bit of a giggle. I did some teaching. It was very valuable, but also it allowed me to get to know people. There was loads of people on that workshop that I'd never met before. And I don't know how long they'd been in my email list, but I know that I hadn't met them on camera before. So that was really, really good exercise for me to do. And so next year, 2026, I want you to think about, how could you build more of a sense of community? How could you make people feel like they belong? Okay, like I know on this podcast, we've got a great sense of community. Although you can't see the other listeners, I hear from you, I speak to you. And so when I'm recording my episodes, I'm thinking of you. I'm thinking of those of you that reached out last week, of those of you that have given me ideas for shows. Yeah. So more community building. This could be you being a bit more proactive with your email list. It could be getting on camera. It could be you running a networking event. Anything that makes the people in your community really feel a sense of belonging. Okay, really feel a sense that you care that they're there. They're not just a number, they're not just a follower, they're a real human. I think sometimes, on social media, we forget it, right? We look at our followers and we see a number at the top of our social media feed, but actually, every single one of those numbers is a human and they hit the follow button for a reason. Okay, for a reason. And so they all deserve to feel a sense of community, a sense of belonging. It's just that sometimes we get so into the tick list of got to create the content, got to churn out the content, got to feed the algorithm, got to do all the things, got to make the sales, got to get the inquiries. I think we get so onto that hamster wheel that it is really easy to forget sometimes that every single one of your followers is a human. Everybody that watches your stories is a human. They're following you for a reason. There could be people right now that maybe you haven't reached out to, that you could reach out to just literally say hi. Yeah, I shared while I was in Dubai on retreat with the girls. I played it out loud for them, a voice note, an example of a voice note that I would send to a new follower. And it actually says, "Hey, I saw that you followed. Welcome to my community. I'm really glad to have you here. I love to get to know my followers. Tell me all about you. Where are you from? What do you do? Tell me what's feeling good right now. Tell me what's driving you crazy." Like, I'm guessing you followed me because, you're growing a business and you see that that's what I help women to do. I help women to grow businesses and make money online. Tell me what's going on for you. It wasn't a long voice note. I think it was 57 seconds. So my challenge to you is, could you be voice noting people who are watching your stories, in your communities, whether that's Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all the places? Could you be getting in touch and just saying hi? Yeah, don't forget to ask one question. Yeah, just think about what is the most aligned question that you could ask that person. Go and have a look at their profile, see what resonates, watch their stories, and then just reach out, say thank you for following, would love to get to know you, what's going on for you. There's no sales pitch here. This is not weird or icky. This is not cold outreach. This is community building. Okay, so that's item number 4 on our list. Item number 5 is more collaborations and partnerships. Who could you be teaming up with to maybe run some things together? So, could you go into someone's free Facebook community and run a training? Could you go and deliver a guest expert session in somebody's membership or mastermind? Could you be a guest on someone's podcast? And how could you return this favor? Okay, because very often with collaborations, it's like a swapsy. Yeah, so it could be that you email out your email list with someone else's freebie and they email their audience with your freebie. It could be that you go live together on Instagram. It could be that you run a workshop together and you each take a piece of that workshop to deliver, and then you both at the end of that workshop get to pitch an offer. I've actually done a few collaborations where it was initially going to be that we ran a workshop together, a free workshop together, so that we could bring our audiences together. And then, whilst we were planning that workshop, I can think of 3 occasions where I've done this. We were actually like, do you know what? I don't want to pitch an offer of my own. Why don't we build an offer together? I've run a few like 8-week, 12-week group coaching programs with other coaches. Loads of fun. Loads of fun. Just please make sure that you do it with somebody that you trust. Okay. I have heard some horror stories where people have collaborated and it hasn't really gone the way that they hoped. So just make sure you choose your partnerships wisely. You choose people that you can trust. You go in it together, and you divvy out the tasks and do things in a very systemized way. Okay. So more collaborations and partnerships. Now, how is this actually going to help to build trust? Well, it will, because trust transfers. Okay. So the minute I invite somebody to be a guest expert, actually, I've got a guest expert session in my community where we're inviting all the girls from my sales accelerator and the girls from both of my masterminds to a session tonight. This is all about money frequency, right? So how would you doing that build your trust? Well, it's because trust transfers. The minute I say, I've invited this guest expert to come in and run a session for us, all of the girls in all of my programs, they know that I trust this person. We actually did a live stream together on Instagram last week, so they've already seen us together publicly. They know that I trust this person. So naturally, that trust will transfer to the guest expert. So if you go onto someone's podcast, you go into someone's group, the minute that they introduce you and say, I want to introduce you to Sarah, who, I met a few weeks back. We've done this together. I've done collaborations where I met two girls in LA that I hadn't met in person before, and we ran a program together. We collaborated on an event, and then we opened up a group coaching program together. My audience saw that relationship developing, saw the trust, saw the connection, saw the high frequency. We were all like three high five girls, and we ran a great program for 12 weeks. So think about, who could you collaborate with, who could you go live with, run a program with, run a masterclass with, that would allow you to be trusted by their audience and them to then be trusted by yours. Okay, that is item number 5. Number 6 is more in-person events, more close proximity. Okay, when you get in the room, whether you buy a ticket for a business brunch that's happening on the weekend, or you're going to a fully blown out 3-day retreat, either way, you're getting in the room. It could be I've done these before where I've done like 5 or 6 people on like a group VIP day. I've done other events where it's like 50 women in a workshop and me training them for the afternoon. We have lunch. It's all very high frequency, lots of value, lots of connection. More in-person events. You can either run an event or you can be an attendee at someone else's. And usually, if you're an attendee at someone else's, you want to go to that event with a mindset of networking, right? I'm here to learn from the speaker, of course, but I'm also here to meet other girlies. I want to ask lots of questions. I want to create connection. The more close proximity that you are in to other people, the more that you will be seen as being, like a girl's girl. You'll take selfies together, put them on your stories. You'll be seen as somebody that's in the room, that's got relationships. I mean, you ladies that have been following me for a while, you've seen me go on God knows how many retreats now. I've done LA 3 times, Barbados, Sardinia. You've seen me develop connection with other coaches, and you've seen that development of relationship turn into collaborations. So get in more rooms. In 2026, I want you to book the train, book the plane, get in the taxi, go to the events. Sitting at your desk, staring at your laptop 5 days a week is not the energy to build trust. Okay, it just makes you feel busy, makes you feel like you're running a business, but you want to get out there. I want you to get out there. Okay, one of the girls actually who I met on a retreat recently, she said to me, Rach, I'm telling you, right, you need to get in more rooms, because I've been following you on Instagram for ages, and I've always, liked your content, and, I've been following you a long time. So I definitely liked you. But when I met you in the room, it literally took about 3 minutes for me to decide you were going to be my next mentor, because I just felt such warmth from your energy. I just felt that you know what you're talking about. You're the real deal. You're not showing up as like fake. You're not one thing online and another thing in person. You're completely aligned. Like literally, it took a matter of minutes. And that's the difference between in-person energy and online. So yes, I'm telling you more face to camera, Because if that's the best you've got, then do more of that. But if you can get in some rooms, even better. Okay. Number 7, the last thing on our list is more retention. Okay. So, to get us out of this trust recession and help you accelerate trust and leverage trust, I want you to think about your retention offers and your loyalty. How do you reward people that have been in programs with you for a long time? How do you make sure that when that 6-month group coaching program ends, if they don't want to leave, they don't have to? Yeah. Do you give any loyalty offers, any loyalty programs? Do you run an affiliate program? Do you offer VIP upgrades so that when somebody gets to the end of a program, they could actually do some sort of VIP upgrade with you? Or maybe add on another 3 months or 6 months? Yeah. I've had ladies that have been in masterminds programs with me for 3 years. Okay. That's retention, right? That's trust. Why would you want them to go off and find someone else to help them take that next leap up to their next level? Why would you want that when actually you could learn what it is that they want next and develop the VIP upgrade or a next best offer for them? So I want you to really think about retention, because it's much easier to keep a customer than it is to sign a new customer. Okay, so don't let them go. Once you've got them, as long as you can help them, you want to have some retention offers. Okay, so that is our list of 7 things. I want you to really think about, maybe this is something that you can journal about. How can you give your audience a real sense of who you are? How can you share your values? How can you convey your energy? How can you really give a sense of your ethos, what you stand for? How can you build your personal brand? How can you show up so powerfully that people instantly get you? They know what it is that you fly the flag for. They know what's important to you. And they know that if they came to work with you, they know what they're going to get. They know the values. They know the way that you hold space. How can you show that? How can you do a better job of getting that through your content? So in 2026, I want you to do less transactional content, less 5 ways to do da 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 da. Like, yes, you can do some of that, but you also need to tell personal stories that showcase your values, your energy, your ethos. Okay. Have a little journal on that, see what you come up with. And I also want you to make peace with the time frame. Okay. Because as I said at the beginning, people take different lengths of time to trust you. Some people trust quickly, others trust less quickly. Make peace with the time. Don't try to speed people up. Be respectful of their decision making journey. Yes, you can create the conditions for powerful activation. Yes, you can be great at messaging, and I can teach you how to be great at messaging in my messaging sprint and my messaging programs. Yeah, but also make peace with the fact that some people just take longer, and that is okay. And the more that you focus on connection and relationships, the faster that they will trust you. It is that simple. Yeah, like building trust is not actually that hard. It's just that it's harder to build it than it is to break it. So we mustn't break it. And actually, on the subject of breaking it, let's end with how to break it. Easy ways to break it, and I know that you'll know this, is the bro tactics that you see other people doing. Like the fake urgency, saying that there's 3 spots when really there's 33, saying that the deadline's on Friday when really it's open-ended. Anything that feels fake or inauthentic will lose you trust faster than you can click your fingers. Okay, so once you've built that trust, don't gamble with it, don't play with it, treat it very, very carefully. Because once somebody trusts you, like, they're with you. Yeah, they're with you. You build your tribe, you build your community, you build your audience. Yeah, but you can't risk breaking that by using any of these like bro BS tactics that are out there. Okay. And I know that if you're a listener of this show, you don't use those things. I know that you would instantly repel those things. Okay. So, anyway, that is it for today. I hope that was a good episode for you. I hope if you are listening to this with a notepad that you have pages of notes. And I hope as I've been articulating this list of 7 things for you, that you've got some new ideas around how you can show up, give value, powerfully lead your audience with real credibility and authority of who you are, what you stand for, yeah, and call in those ideal fit people that trust you in the fastest possible time frame that they feel comfortable with. The more they see you, the more they feel you, the faster that will be. Okay. So happy selling, Sales Queen. Thank you for listening. As always, I'm going to ask you if you know anybody that needs to become an online sales queen, that wants to sell more of their offers and needs to hear this show, please do share it with them. I would love to spread the love all around the internet and make more sales queens so that we can all make more money, live more abundantly, and live our best lives. I'll see you next week.